Hi everyone, welcome to the drum channel. Thanks again for watching. Adrian is my name. We're going to do part 2 of a video relating to the 3 basic rudiments. In part 1, we talked about what the rudiments actually were. We talked a little bit about holding the stick and the grip. So if you haven't checked out part 1, check it out. It'll give you a nice background for this video. This video is going to be starting to talk about ways to start applying the rudiments. And before we even get to toms and cymbals and all that sort of stuff, what I tend to do with all my students is we start to use the bass drum straight away. And what you need to basically have as a drummer, and this is sort of basic stuff, but you need to basically be able to do something with your hands and something with your feet that's different. And so, that goes without saying, doesn't it, theoretically? What we're going to do today is we're going to do the sort of most basic of those exercises. So we're going to play the 3 basic rudiments, but with what we call an ostinato, or repeated bass drum pattern. So for this purposes of this particular video, all we're going to do is play the bass drum on beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. So just cruising like that. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So the idea is that we're going to start putting the rudiments on the top. Now, initially what happens here at this point is the student goes, sounds pretty cool, that's really easy. At the start, when they go to play single strokes, which is right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, the bass drum is playing with the right hand every time. If you're right-handed, that's going to be fine, isn't it? All right, so that sounds a bit like this. 3, 4. Right, that's pretty crazy. That's fine until I ask them to do the same thing starting on the left hand. And then they start to freak out because all of a sudden that's something that the brain hasn't done before. And it's not that it's hard, it's just different. If I ask you to walk across the room on your hands, it's going to be tough at first, but practice for a few weeks and you might start to get the hang of it. So these basic exercises aren't always what they seem, and still really worthwhile doing, even if you've done something like this a million times. Like if you've done everything starting in your right hand, try starting on your left hand and see what happens. I guarantee you'll find something you didn't find before. All right, so I'm going to do starting on the right hand again, a little bit faster, with the ostinato, and then I'm going to go to the left hand version of that. Okay, so this is single strokes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the left-handed version. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there it is. Trying to make them sound exactly the same if I can, and trying to give the left hand a chance to kind of be in charge a little bit, because often it doesn't get that chance. Okay, we're going to move straight on to the double stroke now. Same sort of thing, starting with the right hand, double stroke version. Now, the double stroke, you'll have two rights with the first bass drum, but then you'll have 2 lefts with the bass drum straight after that. So you've got no choice but to lead with your left hand at some stage as well. Okay, this is what this sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting on the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool? So 2 notes per bass drum here. Okay, cool. Straight on to the paradiddle. So, okay, we're going to have the right hand with the bass drum. So right, left. And then we're going to have right, right over a bass drum. Then we're going to do the opposite. We're going to swap left, right, left, left. Okay, so again, there's a PDF with this on the website below. Make sure you're checking this out as you go. It'll make perfect sense. I've written them out for you. Here we go. Paradiddle starting on the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leading with the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty cruisy. theoretically. Okay, cool. If that's too fast, like that, just do it a little bit slower. We're talking eighth notes, so we're talking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and so slow it down and do it as slow as you need to get going. There's no, oh, I should be doing it fast. If you can't do it, you just chill it out and do it slower, okay? Now, we're going to take it a little step further. We're going to start looking at 16th notes. So before we're doing eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and now we're going to do 16th notes, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. All right, so at a slower tempo with single strokes, that's going to sound a bit like this. Okay, eighth notes before was this. 16th notes. I'm going to do the rest of them at 16th notes a little bit faster for you. Single strokes starting on the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting on the left hand. 3, 4. Double strokes starting on the right hand. Here we go. 3, 4. Double stroke starting on the left hand. 3, 4. Paradiddle starting on the right hand. 3, 4. And paradiddle starting on the left hand. 3, 4. Okay, now, this takes me to my last point for this particular video. The exercise that I tend to do when I'm practicing this stuff is to sort of go from one rudiment into the next without stopping, like I was doing then, okay? So starting on we're going to do it starting on the right hand. You can do this starting on the left hand as well. Starting on the right hand in eighth notes, I'm going to go back to the other one, and I'm going to do single strokes for a bar, double strokes for a bar, paradiddles for a bar, and then I'll finish with single strokes for a bar, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. The idea here is that nothing phases the bass drum. The bass drum is quite happily just to sit there and keep doing that, no matter what hand I play. You need to get it to that point where it doesn't matter what hand you decide to use, your bass drum doesn't really care. Once you can do that, and obviously the next exercise is using 16th notes, you can use other subdivisions as well. Once you can start to do that, that's really the only time that you can start to really think about having good independence between your hands and your feet. I mean, some videos coming up that we're going to do are going to talk about some other foot patterns you can use in this sort of exercise, and even how to start to look at soloing as well, But this is kind of the fundamentals. If you can't do that, then how are you going to do all the crazy fast stuff? Okay, so think about it. Okay, let's do 16th notes now. Same thing: singles, doubles, paradiddles, and then singles. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. See you next time. Thanks again for watching.